Well, the month of May is here, and you know what that means. The biggest weekend in motorsports is upon us. As Formula One races at Monaco in the morning, we then have lunch at Indianapolis with the Indianapolis 500. Then we have dinner down at Charlotte, where NASCAR ends the day off with the Coca-Cola 600. Now, with all that racing going on that one day, there's one big storyline going into that weekend. With a partnership between Hendrick Motorsports and Arrow McLaren SP, Kyle Larson will attempt the Indy Charlotte double and attempt to complete all 1,100 miles in the same day. Kyle will be the sixth driver in the history to attempt the double. So before the green flag flies at Indy, let's take a look at the history of the Indy Charlotte double. Before both races were held on the same day, it was pretty common to see NASCAR drivers cross over to race Indy with no hassle. During the 60s and 70s, the Allisons, Bobby and Donnie, along with Cale and Leroy Yarbrough, no relation, would race Charlotte on Sunday and whatever day the Indy 500 would be raced on. Donnie Allison had the best finish in 1970 as he finished 4th in the 500. However, when the Uniform Monday Holiday Act went into effect and placed Memorial Day as the last Monday in May, it effectively ended any chance of drivers doing the double, with Bobby Allison doing the 500 one more time in 1975. However, Bobby only finished 25th. When the Charlotte Motor Speedway got lights installed in 1992, NASCAR was able to push the start of the Coke 600 back into the evening, thus opening the chance for drivers to run both races on the same day. And it was only fitting that an Andretti would attempt to charge. In 1994, John Andretti announced that he will attempt to do the double for the first time in his career and be the first person to do the double on the same day. John's attempt at the double was going to be a tall task to conquer. He had to focus on his full-time Cup ride in 1994, and yet had to travel to Indianapolis for testing and practice for the 500. John was able to qualify for both races, but when race day came around, that's where the real test happened. John had to run Indy, hop on a plane, make the hour-and-a-half 600-mile flight, and make it to Charlotte in time for the start of the 600. John would end up finishing 10th at Indy, unfortunately 4 laps down, but he didn't make it to Charlotte in time for the 600, but had engine issues and ended his night at 220 of the 400 laps. In 1995, the double was attempted again by Davy Jones. Davy's attempt would be the worst out of everyone who tried, as he made the 500, but unfortunately failed to qualify for the Coke 600. Davy's run at Indy would end up short, as he would end up finishing 23rd in the 500 after only completing 161 laps. The next driver to attempt the double will be Robbie Gordon, who attempted to double the most out of all those who tried. In 1997, Robbie will qualify for both races, but rain played a factor in running all 1,100 miles in a day, as rain pushed the Indy 500 back to Tuesday. So Robbie went back to Charlotte and would only complete 186 of the 330-lap rain-shortened 600. At Indy, however, Robbie would only complete 19 laps to the race due to what is being listed as a fire. Yeah, all that anticipation just to go up in flames. The next driver to attempt the double was Tony Stewart in 1999. Stewart, then a Winston Cup rookie and former IndyCar champion, made both races and made the best result of anyone who ran both races in the same day. He finished 9th at Indy, but was 4 laps down. He then went to Charlotte and finished 4th that day. 2000 saw Robbie Gordon attempt the double again, and just like the first time, weather impacted his attempt. Rain would delay the Indy 500 again, but it would still run on Sunday. Robbie would finish 6th, but would end up missing the start of the Coke 600, where he would replace his relief driver, P.J. Jones, at Charlotte, where he would finish 34th, 9 laps down. 2001 would see Tony Stewart do the double again, and Tony would make history. He would make both races, finish 6th at Indy, and race in the 600, finishing 4th, being the first and so far only driver to run 1,100 miles on the same day, and the first to run all 1,100 since Donnie Allison. From 2002 to 2004, Robbie Gordon would run both races, with 2002 being his most successful chance. 2002 saw Robbie run both races with no weather problems for once. Robbie would finish 8th in the 500, and would finish the 600 in 16th place, 1 lap down, completing 1,098.5 out of the 1,100 miles in that day. It would be the closest Robbie would get to running all the miles in the same day. 2003 saw a great high and a bunch of lows. Robbie qualified 3rd for the Indy 500, but finished 22nd after suffering mechanical issues. At Charlotte, Robbie would finish 17th, 1 lap down, in the rain-shortened race of 276 laps completed. 2004 will be the last attempt Robbie would do the double, and it was disappointing to say the least. Robbie will only run 88 laps at Indy due to mechanical failures, finishing 29th, and at Charlotte, Robbie would end the race 3 laps down in 20th. ending his desire to do the whole double on a sour note. After Robbie Gordon, you wouldn't see another driver attempt a double until 2014, as Kurt Busch would step up to the plate and make the attempt. Kurt ran a solid Indy 500, finishing 6th and taking home Rookie of the Year, but Charlotte was a letdown as he would lose the motor after 271 laps into the 400-lap race. Now, if you ask me for my opinion on how I think Kyle Larson would do, I think Kyle has a real good shot at doing something that no one else has done, and not just running all 1,100 miles, but to win both races. He was fast in testing, has been fast in the 600, winning the race in 2021, and nearly winning it again in 2022, even when he had everything go wrong in that race. If Kyle can pull this achievement off, this will launch Kyle into a different category of driver, and will be great mainstream publicity for the sport. But all will be determined on that glorious day. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice day.